This is Korea News for February 2, 2022. At the site of the collapse of the Hyundai Waejong-i Park new apartment building in Gwangju, Jeollanam-do, a 20-ton upper floor load suddenly fell onto nearby shops and roads, raising concerns about further collapse. Some merchants and residents who were guarding the store at the site are complaining of extreme fear and anxiety amid the trauma of the recollapse. At 8:08 am on the 2nd, there was an accident where rocks and concrete debris fell on the road in the Kumho Hival Mall in Waejongdong, Seogu, Gwangju. It is located 10 m away from the site of Building 201, where intensive search and rescue operations are in progress. At the time of the initial collapse, debris struck the site, injuring some merchants and damaging about 20 vehicles and facilities. At the site on that day, an alarm sounded to warn of danger before the debris fell, and a roar and a large dust cloud rose from the impact of the fall. At the time of the fall, rescue workers heard an alarm and evacuated. However, rescue authorities are checking whether there are any casualties in case of an emergency. The accident is presumed to have occurred during intensive rescue and search operations, such as mobilizing 2 small excavators on the 27th and 28th floors, where buried and missing persons are expected. Starting from the 1st, the 29th floor debris removal work has been started, but the structure is experiencing difficulties due to stacked loads such as reinforcing bars and concrete. An official from the Seogu office in Gwangju said, "We are visiting the site and checking the situation, such as damage to residents." Rescue authorities found a missing person buried on the 27th floor of the collapsed building on the 25th of last month and found another missing person on the 28th floor of the building on the 27th while carrying out rescue operations. On the 31st of last month, the 28th floor buried person was recovered. At around 3:46 p.m. on the 11th, at Waejong-i Park Residential Complex Apartment Building 201, 4 stories below the ground and 39 above, which was being built by HDC Hyundai Industrial Development, the internal structures and parts of the exterior walls of 16 floors from 23 to 38 collapsed at once. 6 people on the way went missing. As the number of confirmed cases rapidly increased as the Omicron mutation became the dominant species, the number of new cases surpassed 20,000 on the 2nd, the largest number ever. The Korea Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, KCDC, said that as of midnight on the same day, there were a total of 20,270 new confirmed cases, and the cumulative number of confirmed cases was 888,310. The number of confirmed cases per day increased by nearly 2,000 from the previous day, the first time since the outbreak of the coronavirus in Korea recorded 20,000. Compared to 1.5 times a week ago and 5,804 people 2 weeks ago, it is a 3.5 times increase. It is believed that the number of infected people increased rapidly as the population moved and contact increased during the Lunar New Year holiday. According to the report, among the 20,270 new confirmed cases in Korea, 20,111 were domestic and 159 were imported. The number of critically ill patients being treated at the hospital was 278, an increase of 6 from the previous day. By the 1st, 43.99 million people had received the second dose of the corona vaccine, and the vaccination rate compared to the total population was 85.7%. There were 27.25 million people who completed the third vaccination, boost shot, and the vaccination rate compared to the population was 53.1%. Former President Park Geun-hye, who received a special pardon at the end of last year, celebrated her 71st birthday on the 2nd at Samsung Seoul Hospital, where she was hospitalized. According to the original medical opinion, former President Park was expected to be discharged on the same day, but the time of discharge was delayed again last month. Regarding the exact timing of Park's discharge from the hospital, lawyer Yoo Young-ha, a close associate of her, said, "Nothing has been decided yet." Because of the hospital policy due to COVID-19, inpatients other than registered guardians are not allowed to visit, former President Park is expected to have a quiet birthday. It was reported that only lawyer Yoo would visit the hospital on that day. Until last year, on every birthday, supporters gathered in front of the detention center where former President Park was imprisoned, prepared a birthday cake for Park and sang a congratulatory song. This year, they are expected to gather near Samsung Seoul Hospital and hold their own celebration of former President Park's birthday. Previously, former President Park predicted that he would send a message to the public in time for his discharge. Politicians are paying keen attention to what message they will deliver ahead of the March 9 presidential election. There are many views that, if discharged from the hospital in the middle of this month, when the official election campaign begins, Park's remarks about upbringing will affect the election. Meanwhile, after her discharge from the hospital, former President Park is expected to stay in a nearby detached house at Samsung Seoul Hospital, where she will be treated while traveling to and from the hospital. After the prosecution seized his home in Nagokdong, Sokogu, Seoul in February last year and turned it over to a public sale to recover unpaid fines and fines, Park has no place to stay after being discharged. Local media reported that he was angry when the Chinese national football team failed to qualify for the World Cup finals and also suffered a devastating defeat for the Vietnamese national team led by coach Park Hang-seo. On the 1st, local time, the Hong Kong South China Morning Post published an article titled "Netizens were outraged by China's shameful and humiliating defeat," saying, the historic 3-1 defeat of the Chinese national football team quickly became the hottest topic on social media Weibo. Is becoming, he said. China lost 1-3 to Vietnam in Group B of the 2022 Qatar World Cup Asian Final qualifier held at My Dinh National Stadium in Hanoi, Vietnam on the same day. With this defeat, China recorded 1 win, 2 draws and 5 losses, and it was confirmed that they were eliminated from the final round. Vietnam, which advanced to the World Cup qualifiers for the first time in history, but lost all 7 matches, saved its pride by winning against China. Some Chinese even posted videos of people smashing a television with a hammer, throwing it on the floor, and then stepping on it. Some netizens also demanded the disbandment of the national football team. It's really shameful that we lost to Vietnam, and don't come to China, stay as it is. Chinese media Sina Sports also criticized, China's only chance of qualifying for the World Cup was third in Group B, but lost to Vietnam and missed even a 0.01% chance. Should we continue to watch Chinese football? The second place in each group in the final qualifying round goes straight to the World Cup finals, but China was looking at the possibility of advancing to the playoffs after finishing third. The media also said that China had never lost 5 matches since the first evaluation match against Vietnam in 1956, saying, this history has changed. Meanwhile, the Korean national team, led by coach Paulo Bento, won 2-0 against Syria in the 8th match of Group A on the same day and confirmed their progress to the finals. By securing at least second place with 2 matches remaining in the group stage, Korea advanced to the finals for the 10th consecutive World Cup since 1986 in Mexico. Preliminary college students, who will be entering the school in March, agreed that they felt regret more than expectations and excitement. This is because there are not many opportunities to meet with friends and seniors before entering the school because the freshman orientation is conducted non-face-to-face. I have taken non-face-to-face classes in high school for the past 2 years, but I am also concerned that there is a high possibility that I will continue to take classes online and will not be able to use school facilities properly. The fact that they have to pay expensive tuition, which is based on face-to-face classes, is also said to be a burden for prospective college students. As the coronavirus continues for a long time, more and more cases are not being able to experience face-to-face activities such as welcome parties or festivals for new students. Kim Seo-ha said, I was so curious about the school festival, so I looked up a YouTube video of the festival that was held before Corona. I went to university, but everything was done non-face-to-face, so I didn't have many friends I knew, so I couldn't even ask how the festival was going, he said. Jae-hoo Sang-lee, who entered the school in 2016, said, when I am active in the student council, I feel that the number of juniors who have experienced or planned face-to-face events is gradually decreasing. It was very sad to see the juniors who entered the school after the outbreak of the coronavirus, wondering that they had not experienced such things as festivals or club activities. Thank you for watching today.